right? So back to, and then verse 6, it says, then God said, let there be firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Thus God made the firmament and divided the waters, and that's where we can think of like sky. All right, so you just picture like water being, he's creating the atmosphere now. We have a cloud cover. I've heard some creation scientists talk about a vapor canopy that would keep, the more, deadly type of radiation from the sun out. All right, even though it hasn't been created yet. And it says, thus God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. So he's talking about the atmosphere here. So he's created that. And it says, verse 8, and God called the firmament heaven. And so evening and morning were the second day. And the Bible describes, three types of heavens also. There's our normal atmosphere, which is like the first heaven. Then there's outer space, which would be the second heaven. And then there's where God dwells beyond the galaxy and the universe that he created, is the third heaven. Paul the Apostle was caught up to the third heaven, and he says he says he couldn't even express what he saw. There was no words, because we have a limited, God's made us limited, and we're not able to, he wasn't able to express that, but it was so beautiful. And then it says, verse 9, it says, then God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place. Let the dry land appear, and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Notice how every phase here, how he says that it was good. Verse 11, then God said, let the earth bring forth the grass, the herb that yields its seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kinds, whose seed is in itself on the earth, and it was so. And that's the way God is. He says it, and it's so. And the earth brought forth grass and the herb that yields seed. Notice this, very important here, according to its kind. All right? And the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and the herb that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, and those seed who are in themselves according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And so evening and morning were the third day. All right? Now I want you to know right there, so this is, the dry land appears on day 3, and then God speaks into existence all the trees and the life, and he says that everything is contained within itself, within the seed. And so you notice that he has all these trees and everything, that the fruit trees, if I go out and I plant an apple seed, I'm not going to ever get pumpkins. If I plant corn, I'm not going to get a pear. Every seed has its own code and information, all right? Get that, information that's in there. And it says, and God made everything according to its kind. That is an actual scientific statement here in the Bible. And I want you to know that there's a progress, a logical progress of creation, all right? Even though, the sun, the moon, and the stars don't appear until day 4, all right? This is a logical creation because God is light. All right, so he is able to do this, and probably the light that he has probably caused these things to grow so much faster, even though he could have just spoke and said grow, And the idea of creation is, if God creates a tree, all right, that that tree, in its created process, has an idea that would convey to us, we would look at it and we would say that tree is 60, 70 years old based on its size. So it has, its appearance looks old even though it was just made, okay? And I want to commend, for those of you who really want to get into this whole creative thing, because I'm not a scientist. I love science, so I like digging into this, but you know, I like to let the scientists, true scientists, do this. ICR, www.icr.org, Institute for Creation Research, does some amazingly scholarly work. For more of a layman's term, but they have awesome scientists too, is Answers in Genesis, all right? And we'll put up those two links for you, and you can go visit those websites, and they do an excellent job of showing from science, how scientists indicate that evidence points to creation, or you'll even hear now you know, intelligent design, which Ben Stein did a recent documentary called Expelled, where he went through and he exposed how academia today has its own good old boy club, that if anybody comes out in favor of intelligent design, if you mention intelligent design, you can check out that movie by Ben Stein, Expelled. He's not a Christian. He's just amazed that, you know, there's such a suppression of the truth that goes on in, you know, when speaking about science. And so what we have there is we have, you know, those type of things. I want to commend those things for those of you who want to dig into that. You want to have your intellect, you know, stimulated in that measure. I commend those ministries to you where they have excellent scientists. But remember, it all comes down to faith, all right? Being a person of faith means taking God at His word. Because Charles Darwin, me, scientists, none of us were there at the beginning. And that's where we're at today. We'll pick up day 4 in our next session. God bless you. Thanks for being with us. We love you, and we hope you're being stimulated in, as we unleash, you know, God's word in your life. God bless.